the petitions or maybe struck out. But what is happening currently is that the Supreme Court, already we've seen the security, as it were, has been beefed up around this particular area so that Wabera Street is now out of bounds to any traffic or pedestrians, or together with the City Hall Way. So it will be locked out to the public, and you can see already we have the police have already barricaded this particular section of the road that is accessing the Supreme Court. And from our discussion with the registrar of the judiciary yesterday, she did indicate that they want to limit the idea is part of the crowd control strategy by the Supreme Court. They want to ensure that as very few people access this particular area, and they'll put monitors where now people will be following the proceedings from the various on their TV screens, because these particular proceedings will be relayed live by all the various media houses in the country. They are already here. So there's already the police will ensure that those people who are coming here they'll be vetted first of all, because even the media will have their own badges that they'll be showing to the security people before they are allowed inside. We already have 200 journalists who have been accredited to cover these particular proceedings. And just to indicate, we've seen that at least that already we have police officers here. We have a contingent of the GSU. We also have administration police and regular police who will ensure that everything here is up to speed and there's no crowd trouble. And also we know very well that the Court of Appeal is in recess, but there are other matters that are being listened to. And according to the registrar, those people who have cases at the Court of Appeal will come and tell the officers there is an arrangement on what will happen with the security officers. They've been told to be courteous to the public who come and have a matter with the Court of Appeal because the Supreme Court also happens to house the Court of Appeal, and there are matters that are pending before the Court of Appeal. So those litigants with matters before the Court of Appeal will come and they'll be cleared by the security personnel. They'll have to show their documents and maybe explain cause on why, the reason they want to access these particular precincts. And the security personnel, we've been assured that they'll be courteous enough to the public and tell them, those who have matters before the Court of Appeal, to access the Supreme Court and also have their matters heard. So these are part of the arrangements that we expect. Yesterday we saw the counsel from various parties make their interlocutory applications. They also submitted their written submissions in support of the petitions, or either asking for the rejection of the petition. We also saw them also submit their various authorities to the Supreme Court, the matter that will be argued today evening. Also, the other matter on the table this evening will be to do with those other people who want to be enjoined in this particular matter. We already know the Third Way Alliance presidential aspirant, that is Dr. Okuru Aokota, has also asked, he wants to be enjoined in. We've seen Professor Wainaina, he also wants to be enjoined in this particular case. We've seen also the Law Society of Kenya wants to be enjoined in as an amicus curiae. Also, the Attorney General wants to be enjoined in as an amicus curiae. It's a matter that the Supreme Court judges, the 7 judges, will be discussing and see whether those particular applications can be allowed for the parties to be enjoined into this particular matter, or maybe they'll say that they will not be allowed. Already we've seen the opposition NASA is having some reservations about the Attorney General. They say that he's always been partisan and is not. They don't want him to appear before this particular Supreme Court in this particular matter as an amicus curiae, because they feel that he favors the government and is not neutral as it's supposed to be for the case of an amicus curiae, because an amicus curiae is supposed just to assist the court in also explaining some of those matters that you think could be of help to the court or the matter that is before the court as it's being prosecuted. We've also seen the petition by Professor Wainaina. His main authority. I spoke to his lawyer yesterday, and he says they'll be hinging on that particular the idea of the data that was used by IEBC to transmit the results. According to Professor Wainaina, he feels that he is arguing that data should not be given to the petitioners here. So it will be interesting to see whether his application will be allowed before the Supreme Court judges, because one of the matters that is being asked by NASA is they want access to the data that was used in the transmission and the electronic transmission of these particular results. Gitonga?
Right, Patrick. And is the security expected to remain like that for the next 6 days? It looks like literally some parts of, well, as you get to the High Court are cordoned off. Is it going to remain like that throughout?